In mixed nationality marriages involving Vietnam, spousal rights do not arise only in divorce. They arise upon death. And when inheritance begins, nationality differences often create legal uncertainty. Before discussing spousal inheritance rights in Vietnam, one critical distinction must be made. Marital property division occurs first. Inheritance applies only to the deceased spouse's share. Confusion between these stages often leads to dispute. Under Vietnamese law, property acquired during marriage is generally presumed to be common marital property unless a valid agreement provides otherwise. Upon death of one spouse, the surviving spouse retains their lawful share of the common property under marital property rules. Only the deceased spouse's portion becomes part of the estate subject to inheritance. This distinction is structural, not optional. In mixed nationality marriages, nationality alone does not displace Vietnamese property rules for assets located in Vietnam. For property situated in Vietnam, particularly immovable assets, Vietnamese marital property law generally applies. Asset location carries greater legal weight than passport status. Under Vietnamese inheritance law, the surviving spouse is a first-line statutory heir. This places the spouse in the primary inheritance category alongside children and parents of the deceased. This status applies regardless of nationality. If the deceased left no valid will, statutory inheritance applies. The surviving spouse inherits equally with other first-line heirs. Mixed nationality does not eliminate this entitlement. If a will exists, distribution follows its terms, but within statutory limits. Under Vietnamese law, the surviving spouse is a statutory compulsory heir. A will cannot freely eliminate this protected status without legal consequence. If a will exists, distribution follows its terms, but within statutory limits. Under Vietnamese law, the surviving spouse is a statutory compulsory heir. A will cannot freely eliminate this protected status without legal consequence. For real estate located in Vietnam, Vietnamese inheritance and land law govern succession. The surviving spouse may inherit land use rights subject to ownership eligibility rules. Transfer requires formal registration. A foreign spouse may inherit property located in Vietnam. However, the ability to register ownership depends on compliance with Vietnamese housing and land regulations. In certain cases, the heir may inherit the economic value of the property but must transfer or dispose of it if ownership conditions are not satisfied. Legal eligibility determines long-term retention. For assets located outside Vietnam, foreign law generally governs inheritance. However, Vietnamese courts may still address domestic marital property division. Parallel legal systems often apply. If one spouse holds dual nationality, conflict of law analysis may become more complex. Courts examine asset location, domicile, and applicable treaties. Assumptions based solely on passport status are insufficient. Spousal inheritance rights often conflict with children from previous relationships. In mixed nationality families, emotional and legal tensions intensify. Clear estate planning reduces confrontation. A valid prenuptial agreement can alter the marital property regime. This affects the size of the estate subject to inheritance. However, it does not automatically eliminate statutory heir protections. If marital status is unclear due to foreign divorce or prior marriage, inheritance rights may be contested. Vietnamese authorities require formal recognition of foreign marital judgments. Documentation discipline is essential. Inheritance between spouses may benefit from favorable tax treatment under Vietnamese law. Proper classification ensures eligibility for exemptions. Administrative compliance remains mandatory. Mixed nationality marriages frequently involve heirs residing abroad. Competing claims may arise between surviving spouse and foreign children. Jurisdictional complexity amplifies conflict risk. Couples in mixed nationality marriages should review both marital property regime and inheritance structure proactively. Dual wills and coordinated asset structuring can reduce ambiguity. Transparency supports enforceability. Spousal inheritance rights in Vietnam are determined primarily by domestic law for assets located in Vietnam. Nationality influences context but does not override mandatory rules. Planning must align with Vietnamese civil law realities. In mixed nationality marriages, inheritance is not governed by sentiment but by structure. Vietnamese law provides defined spousal rights in both marital property and succession. For international families, deliberate legal alignment preserves stability across jurisdictions. Without it, courts will define the outcome. If you are in a mixed nationality marriage involving Vietnam, do not assume that inheritance will follow the expectations of your home jurisdiction. Marital property division and spousal inheritance rights under Vietnamese law can materially affect asset distribution. To align your marital regime, wills, and cross-border estate structure with Vietnamese legal requirements, contact LTS Law at lts.com.vn for strategic legal guidance. In international marriages, clarity is not emotional, it is structural protection.